Hello and welcome back to Lorcana Villain. My name is Baker and I am shattered, so I apologise if I look tired. I am. I was at a real Lorcana event with actual cardboard the other day. That video will come covering those top 8 lists will come within 12 to 24 hours after this video goes up, because your boy needs to sleep and he's been away for the weekend, but I really wanted to get the coverage for this event done. Otherwise I'm going to fall behind on my schedule. There's a lot of things I need to get done this week. This is my Burnett hoodie, by the way. I am a Burnett. I'll be honest, the main reason is your boy needs to do his washing. It was the only hoodie I had clean. But hey, let's rock it. Let's go with it. Anyway, chatting all sorts of nonsense as I do. Today we are taking a look at the top 8 deck lists for an online event. This was an event run exclusively on the Pixelborn online program to play Lorcana, and it was hosted by 20 Lore Pro, who you should all go and subscribe to, follow on Twitter, and subscribe to them. I don't know if they have a YouTube, but subscribe, follow them, show them your support, because they'd be hosting some Lorcana tournaments. So if you are interested in playing some online events, I would highly recommend following them and get involved in the future. But yeah, there was some prizing. I think this was in store credit, I believe. If that's wrong, I'll put a pinned comment saying if it was actually cash or something. I'm assuming it was store credit for somewhere. But first place $100, second place $50, third and fourth getting $25, which is not bad at all for an online tournament. So yeah, massive appreciation to 20 Lore Pro. And yeah, let's take a look at the top 8 deck lists. So I will tell you straight away, once again, the majority of our top 8 lists are Ruby Amethyst. Then we have 2 Steel Amber. And then we do have a pretty cool Amber Amethyst list. There are a couple of cards in a couple of these Ruby Amethyst lists that do have something more interesting to talk about than the usual. But we always go through the lists. I will continue to do that, even if they end up being the same thing, because that's what we're here to report on. So first up, we've got Kwabachi. Apologies if I murdered that. With some Ruby Amethyst Control, we see 4 counts of Minnie and Olaf. We see our traditional 4 counts of Madam Mim, Snake and Fox, Merlin, Goat and Rabbit. We see the 4 count of Maleficent. We see the 4 count of Minnie, Surfer in here. We see 4 Maui, 2 Yzma this time, all the way in on the Imperial Queen, or Imperial Queen? The Floodborn Lady Tremaine. Only 2 copies of Maleficent, which there's at least one more list which has a much lower count of Maleficent, or it might even be none. I think it's just a lower count. I don't disagree with this at this point. Like the game has just sped up so much that you don't always get to this point. So I'm leaning more towards a lower count of Maleficent myself. 4 Teeth and Ambitions, which is good. 4 Friends, 4 Be Prepared, and 2 Sorcerer's Spellbook. So we don't see the 2-cost Lady Tremaine, no Diabolical Scheme, no Dragon's Fires, no Arthurs in here either. Just when you play Arthur, it does take you down a different line of play. Oh, so I didn't point out the 2 copies of Talkative Puppet Pinocchio, who I really like to deal with aggro and a 2 count. So yeah, like when you're playing Arthur, you do end up just playing a very different game, whereas this is just far more aggressive and did very, very well. So yeah, congratulations to them. Next up in second place, we've got Bad Wolf with some Ruby Amethyst Bounce Shadow Control. So something interesting to talk about in this list, but let's go through it all. So we've got just the 4 count of Pascal, so only 4 1-drops in this deck. We see the 4 count of Snake, Fox. We see 3 Goat, 4 Rabbit. We see the 4 Maleficent. We do see the 3 copies of Pinocchio in here, as we were just saying. I really like it, and we've gone a bit more all in here. We see 4 LeFou. So we are just much more into that just high questing strategy, trying to abuse Arthur as much as we can and just race to game. 2 copies of Queen of Hearts, the Rush version. We also see 3 Rafiki making his way back into Ruby Amethyst list, but for a very specific reason, which is Peter Pan Shadow. Really glad I called this becoming good a few days ago, because it does not surprise me to see this in here. Even without the Rafiki, just the Fox and the Maui, like them in themselves are good targets for Peter Pan Shadow. Helps get over the Diver Mini. just gets over any evasive in general, obviously, because of the tiptoe ability, giving all your rush characters evasive. But on top of dealing with evasive things, you just become more annoying yourself, like making your Fox and your Maui evasive. And of course, in this version, I'm running 2 Queen of Hearts, who has rush, and the 3 Rafiki making his way back in, who, again, is going to benefit from tiptoe, but I think it's just a strong card anyway. He started to drop off after the rise of Rapunzel in last format, but the game's very different now. You don't even see Rapunzels in all Amber decks, and even when you do, it's a 2 or a 3 count, and Rafiki's was always strong. So yeah, paired up with the tiptoe ability from Peter Pan Shadow, absolutely love it. As I said, 4 copies of Maui. We've got 3 Yzma, 3 Lady Tremaine Floodborn, 2 Befuddle, which I really like, good against aggro, good in the mirror just for slowing them down. Like if they go, and even in the late game, it just opens up your Lady Tremaines, Lady Tremaine plays a bit more if like they've extended with low cost characters to like play around your Tremaine. So I really like the 2 Befuddle, 4 Friends on the other side, and 4 Be Prepared. So yeah, mostly similar shell, with some slight count differences, but yeah, really like the Peter Pan Shadow. And I didn't mention in my initial analysis, this is that it was a 73 player tournament, 7 rounds. It was open deck list as well. Sorry guys, I'm well off it tonight. I am shattered, but I'm going to push on. But yeah, 73 players, it was open deck list, everyone knew what everyone was playing. Next up in top 4, we've got Remember Slay with some Ruby Amethyst HeiHei Control, because HeiHei is here, so we've got to celebrate him. It's HeiHei Control. Most things are pretty basic here. We've got 4 Olaf, 4 Pascal for a total of 8 1-drops. The 2 cost Inkable HeiHei with a 2/1 stat line, quest for 1. When this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand. So just assuring that we've often got a body. And this thing put in work against me at my tournament in London on Saturday, but not get into that now. We see 4 counts of the snake, the fox, the rabbit, and the goat. We see the 4 Maleficent, 4 Diver Mini, the evasive. We see 2 Pinocchio in here as well. 4 Maui, 2 Yzma, 4 Lady Tremaine. Once again, only 2 Maleficent, 4 Friends, 4 Be Prepared, and 3 Sorcerer's Spellbook. Once again, no Arthur, just deciding that it's not necessary, and it kind of... Like, I like Arthur. Like, I'm never going to say including Arthur is bad. I played Arthur, although I played a 3 count. I think 2 is probably more sensible. But I can understand the reasoning behind not playing it. Like, you just focus more on controlling the board and doing things the old-fashioned way rather than, like, these quick jumps. So, yeah, really like it. Well done to Remember Slay. Next in top 4, we've got a slightly more aggressive version of Ruby Amethyst. We've got 3 counts of Olaf and Minnie and 4 Pascal, giving us a total of 10 1-drops. So if you're not seeing that 1-drop turn 1, it must feel so incredibly bad. We see the 4 count of Snake, Fox, only 3 Rabbit, but 4 Goats. We see the 4 Maleficent, the 4 Minnie, 3 Arthur in here. As we say, we are an aggro version, so we're also running 4 LeFou, 4 Pinocchio, with that 2 cost 1/1 uninkable quest for 3, 4 Maui, 3 Yzma, 3 Teeth and Ambitions, lots of targets for that, 4 Friends, and 2 Sorcerer's Spellbook. No Be Prepared. It doesn't surprise me to not see Maleficent, and it doesn't hugely surprise me to not see Lady Tremaine, because again, this is the aggro version. I personally, I'm still not understanding why you wouldn't play any counts of Be Prepared, but listen to the data. Player did really, really well, and you know, they're not the first list we've seen in top 8 that have just cut Be Prepared. So you got to listen to it, and like, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. I will be wrong again. But yeah, congratulations to Dranasi. We'll do all the Ruby Amethysts in a row, but moving into our top 8, we see another Bounce Aggro, 4 count, we're only at 8 1-drops, 4 Pascal, 4 Mini. We see the 4 counts of Snake, Fox, Merlin, and Goat, and Maleficent, and our evasive Mini. All the way in on the Arthurs and LeFou, obviously. 4 Maui, 4 Yzma, 4 Tremaine, 4 Friends, 4 Be Prepared. Just like, I think I think this might be identical to a list we looked at from I think it was the France tournament, that had nearly 200 players. It was either that one or it might have been PAX. Either way, this looks very similar, just a very consistent, all 4s, very satisfying to look at, and you can see why it would work and be a consistent deck to get through multiple rounds of a tournament. So yeah, congratulations to Lizard Kitty. Going into our Steel Amber decks now, we've got, first of all, Sleepy's Rock Songs. Once again, taking advantage of Sleepy's Flute. 2-cost uninkable. Exert, if you played a song this turn, gain 1 lore, which obviously is good, but you don't have to pay a cost. Which is the difference to the Sorcerer's Spellbook. And obviously if you can get multiple of these down in a turn, if you can get 3 or 4 on the board, then you're then tapping them all for 3 or 4 lore just for playing 1 song. So excellent. We see 4 copies of Ballroom Sensation Cinderella and 4 copies of Night in Training. So that for the Amber one is going to be a cheap way to sing our songs. The Steel one is going to be a good way to see more of our deck and pick the pieces that we need. And they both, of course, can shift into our Stout-Hearted Cinderella with that incredible singing sword. Whenever you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters, and we be all the way in on the songs. We've got Sleepy's Flute as well, so yeah, this is the songs be happening, songs be the meta. We've got 4 counts of Stitch and Rockstar Stitch, and like all these characters that are 2 cost or less will obviously be the adoring fans of our Rockstar Stitch. We've got 4 line of Queen and the Floodborn version. We've got 4 Simba Bodyguard, 4 Ariel Spectacular Singer to find our songs and sing them cheaply. And then our song count is 2 Be Our Guest, 2 Zero to Hero, 4 Storm Rage On, 4 Strength of a Raging Fire, 4 Whole New World, 4 Grab Your Swords, and the 4 Flute we've talked about. So yeah, again, we saw a list very similar to this, top 8, another tournament very recently. So yeah, it looks to be another strong contender in our meta. So congratulations to Jobberman. And our other Steel Amber deck is Snow White's Rock Songs. So no Sleepy's Flute in this version, but we do see the 4 count of Lantern to help us play characters at a cheaper cost. Our song count is pretty much the same, but only 2 counts of Storm Rage On and Raging Fire, 3 Be Our Guest, no Zero to Hero. But these, even though we're not playing Sleepy's Flute, we are playing the Ballroom Sensation Cinderella and the Floodborn Stout-Hearted Cinderella. We don't see the Night in Training in this particular list. We've got the 4 line of Rockstar Stitch. We've got 4 Simba, 4 Ariel Spectacular Singer. We've got 2 Benja to counter those opposing Lanterns, opposing Sleepy's Flute, Sorcerer's Spellbooks. Those are the main items that are coming up at the moment. There'll be a couple more that are more, well, and obviously Paw Control related things. 2 Rapunzel, as I said, this is because, like, if you are seeing Rapunzel, it's a much lower count. 4 Tinkerbell, 3 Surfer Stitch to help us draw some cards, and then finishing off on the Snow Whites, obviously. So the Floodborn version, 2 count of that, shift 4, 6 cost uninkable, quest for 2 with a 3/5 stat line. When this character quests, you may return a character from your discard to your hand. So just being able to pull back, whether it's the Tink, whether it's the Stitch, whether it's the Cinderella, just all these big pieces that whatever is more appropriate for our board state, or our Benja if we need to remove more items, our Rapunzel if we feel like we can get more value off of that. Lots of good stuff. And then obviously 4 count of the 2 cost inkable Snow White with a 2/3 stat line, and the ability I Won't Hurt You. When you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. So that might come up occasionally, like great for keeping your Cinderella nice and healthy, who has already got resist 2, so it can be quite difficult to remove if it's not targeted removal like Dragon's Fire or the World's Greatest Criminal Mind. So yeah, if they're trying to chip away at it, that can be quite annoying. But obviously more so, she is here not only because she can be a cheaper way for us to shift Snow White, the Floodborn version, but she's just another 2-cost character who can be an adoring fan for Stitch. So yeah, I really like this edition. I think you'll see this I think we'll see this again before this particular format is over. So yeah, congratulations to Bobby McHugh. And finally, with some Amber Amethyst Stitch and Friends aggro, we have Beyond, who, as soon as I saw the name, I was like, I recognise this person, and I went back and looked through some of my older top 8 deck reviews, and I believe that they made the top 8 of the second Lorcana HQ tournament, which is a tabletop simulator, was a tabletop simulator tournament, but yeah, already proven in the online world of Lorcana, coming up again, and with a couple of quite innovative choices. So we've got the 4 Ballroom Sensation Cinderella, who is here simply to be a turn 2, well, it doesn't have to be turn 2, but in a perfect world, a turn 2 friends on the other side, or it's just ink. We're playing 4 copies of Making a Wish Lilo, as we are an aggro deck, and the Biding Her Time Maleficent. We've obviously got the 4 copies of Simba Protective Cub to protect those aggro characters. We've got 4 copies of Stitch and the Rockstar Stitch, who can bring out all of these 2 costs that I'm bringing up, and more to mention. We've got 2 copies of HeiHei once again coming in to save the meta. We also see 2 copies of the Blue Fairy. Would not have called it. Straight up, just would never have called it. 2 cost Inkable, 1/1 stat line, quest for 1, evasive, and the ability, when you play a Floodborn character, you may draw a card. So our Floodborns here are just the Queen and Stitch, but it's kind of enough. And again, it's just another 2 cost character who can be another adoring fan, and it's evasive. So, yeah, I wouldn't have called it, but now I see it, it makes a degree of sense. So yeah, really like it. We've got 4 count of Snake to return some of these aggro characters and keep them safe. 4 copies of Pinocchio, 3 Arthur, 3 Fox, 4, only 3 Fox in here, 4 Goats. I've never tried this deck. I'd be on, if for whatever reason you are watching this video, were you happy with 3? Would you make that a 4, or do you feel like 3 is enough? Tell me, I wish to know. We've talked about the Floodborns, 2 copies of the world's greatest criminal mind. It will always happen, get over it. Which we like to see to deal with those big characters, and then we've mentioned the 4 friends on the other side. So yeah, list looks really strong, looks good. Some innovation here, and Beyond clearly a very good player. So yeah, congratulations to them. And that's it for the top 8 deck lists for the 20 Lore Pro online Pixelborn tournament. Once again, you should go and follow them on Twitter, show them some support. If you're interested in playing online, then stand by for future tournaments. I would have played in it myself, but I was at a real cardboard tournament, so unfortunately I wasn't able to. In the future, hit me up if you want me to join the casting team. Hit your boy up. But that is it for now. Apologies, I've been a bit all over the place this evening. More so than usual. I know I'm usually a bit all over the place. But yeah, your boy needs to sleep, but I wanted to get this out and try and keep to my schedule. Otherwise, I would have run the risk of ending up just not covering it. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, do please hit the like button to show your support. If you're brand new, please subscribe for all things Lorcana, and we'll see you soon. We got to do this properly. Like if we're wearing it, here we go.